I'm Sky.
I'm Finn.
I'm Delaney.
I'm Harrison.
And we are.
And we're
Blue
Crew Broadcast.
Welcome back, Altaloma. Welcome back to the Blue Crew Broadcast. It's this guy, Finn. It's been quite a minute, but I'm happy to be back with two awesome folks. So if our new host could introduce herself first.
Hi, I'm Cristal. Yeah, I'm a sophomore. So, yeah, okay.
Crystal, do you mind going a bit in depth about yourself? Just like
How do you
brought
what do you want me
here?
to say though? Because I'm so, yeah.
This I think the cool thing about the podcast is just it's like we're having a conversation, but like there's a recording button on. So there's a little bit of pressure with the recording, but like just treat it casually, I guess. Yeah, I haven't been doing this for very long, but I kind of feel like a sensei. But if you wouldn't just anything you do at school, what inspired you to be a part of this? What goals you might have? Anything you're willing to share? We're all ears.
I have a thing. If I ever hit anything, it's a cat.
Oh, yeah. I recently became a cat owner, so I
have four of
get
them.
that.
So if I'm ever hitting anything, yeah, just FYI.
So we have a cat owner. That's really cool. I've recently hopped on that cat train, as I said, and yeah. But Crystal, even though we haven't met, it's really cool to have here. I love talking to new people, and speaking of new people, the topic of this episode happens to be one of my good friends. If you would like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Julianne. I'm the captain or one of the captains of the varsity dance team. I'm also involved in Link Crew, and I'm also the captain of my Link Crew group. I've been on varsity all 4 years of high school, and it's something that I really enjoy. I love to dance, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna have just a little bit of a kind of guided, unguided bit discussion, mostly about Julianne because she has like the special gold star of the week. But we're gonna kind of do a bit of a roundtable as the host kind of interject with our own experiences because we like talking. And so Julianne, start off with the first question, and then we'll just like go around, add on, just talk. So Julianne, what was your favorite memory in high school? You mentioned a few things such as dance and Link Crew, and you've had a wealth of experience in 4 years. So just something simple. What has been like one of your favorites?
Honestly, one of my favorites would be, I'd say, all the football games. I've always had a fun time like performing with dance there. And then going after I perform and then like watching the game with my friends and like getting food and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. I love the football games. Sad we couldn't have them really. I mean, we do, but like, it's not the same. But it's definitely a memory or an experience that I have a lot of. What am I saying? I have good memories at those football games, basically.
That's a good one. That's a really cool experience, more than just like football, that like a lot of students like have passion and connection to. Myself, again, this is the first time I'm meeting Crystal, so just a little spiel about me. I'm a band kid. I did marching band for 2 years, and I really liked having that experience with the football games, and it was really cool that like the fine arts kind of got to represent themselves. So Julianne, I completely understand what you're saying, and yeah. um yeah, football games are awesome. Crystal, do you have any word on football games or
I
what
didn't
you've
go to any
enjoyed your
of them
past 2
last
years?
year. I didn't go to any because I was at a studio dance that interfered with football games, so I was never able to go to them for my freshman year. But I'm on JV dance now, so I kind of do the football games, kind of, because we had a few It's complicated.
Well, that's cool that you're a dancer, and it like shows that you have something in common with our guests. So, do you guys mind, Julianne? Do you do outside of school dance studio? I believe.
Yeah, I used to before I went to dance for the high school. I was in studio and I had to leave it because it was just like a big time commitment. But yeah, I did do studio for a while and yeah.
And this kind of goes for both of you, but how did how exactly would like they compare being like a member of the dance team or outside of school? Because um for at least music, like our participation in and outside of school was kind of like in school band is like pretty strict and it's enjoyably rigorous. It's just on a schedule, whereas like freelance music is kind of just you have a guitar in the room and you strum it like anytime you're bored. But yeah, would either of you guys like to take up that question, like the difference between studio and school dance, and we could go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that a big difference is obviously like with school dance, it's like obviously mixed with school. So there's like a lot, it's not like two separate things anymore. It's like mixed together. So, school events, like we still perform at them, like with the dance team, with the studio, obviously you wouldn't get to perform at your own school. So I think it's kind of cool how like you're on a team in your own school and you can still like go to school events and like perform and stuff like that. So it's cool to like mix it. Yeah, I'd say the big difference is yeah that you get to perform at your own school and like rallies and football games and stuff like that that you wouldn't normally be able to do with a studio. Normally we just do like competitions and other events, but nothing really school related.
Yeah, and all right, go ahead. Sorry.
I have to say time. It's mostly because when I was at the studio, I was dancing maybe like 30 hours a week,
Dang,
and now
get paid.
that's what I said. They didn't agree with that though. I now dance maybe 4 hours a week, so it's really weird going from dancing so much to very barely dancing. So I did it for 7 years, dancing 30 hours a week. So
That's cool.
a
I
weird.
did on it. Um, so kind of going with this theme of dance, but and both of you are involved with the school dance this year. So how would you say that how would you describe dance via Zoom, and kind of the elephant in the room is, like we're all at home. Kind of like I don't think I could dance over, like we record our meetings on Zoom and kind of just thinking about like trying to fit moves in a box. How does that work for you guys? Like, would you care to share?
Yeah, so it is honestly at first it was really difficult because like, we're the whole team is used to like dancing together, obviously, and now we're just like looking at each other through a screen. So it was kind of weird at first, but eventually I got used to it. But luckily we were able to like go back in person, obviously masked and social distancing. So obviously like the Zoom practices weren't the same, but it was still nice to be able to get those practices in and kind of just see my team, Um, but overall, like I'd say that we were lucky to get to go back. So yeah.
Zoom. I just don't like Zoom. That's it. I just don't like Zoom. It was bad. It was really hard to learn dances considering you have to flip it. Because instead of being able to do the same leg that they're doing and it looks like they're doing the same leg as you have to change it.
Oh,
Because
I get that.
Zoom doesn't like say someone's doing their right leg, it looks like they're doing their left leg.
Oh yeah, because like the
So
reflections.
you have to flip that when you're dancing, and it's really hard to learn dances through that.
I get it. And Crystal, you have a unique experience. As you said, you joined JV Dance this year, so you were kind of like your perception of school dance has fortunately or unfortunately been like sort of shaped by Zoom, and I understand that's kind of a difficult thing for our underclassmen. Like me and Julianne being seniors, even though like this year has been rough, we've at least had 2.5 really strong, packed years of memories to look from and to remember fondly. And we can talk about like how whack, for lack of a better term, the past year has been in all of its regards. But I think kind of looking to the future, like things are getting better. At the time of this recording, we're actually, if we choose to do so, are going back to hybrid, which is a really important thing, really cool thing to be a part of, just having that possibility, the opportunity, and like Julianne said, the opportunity to go back to physical dance. And yeah, I kind of went on a tangent there. I kind of like that optimism, and one of the questions we often like kind of turn to in at least the episodes that we have done, be it with each other or with our guests, and for this time it's going to be both of you. My question is kind of, how have you managed to stay optimistic throughout everything that we've been through? Because in its purest form, we're here today, and we're here, we're talking, we're discussing, even if we're in different rooms. That is proof that we have gotten through a year of this, which it's not ideal whatsoever, but it's still a great and fortunate thing that above all we're here. Like, we got through it and we're still going through it. But I'll save the sappy pep talk later. I'll get to you guys, but if either of you would like to answer how you've stayed optimistic.
I mean, obviously it's been like very hard to stay motivated because, you don't see your friends, and like that's a big reason why you come to school every day. So it's just like waking up and then going on a Zoom call is like not the most fun thing ever. But I'd say honestly is probably just how have I stayed optimistic? I would say looking forward to the future. Um obviously times aren't like the best right now. But I'd say what kept me pushing was like knowing that one day, this is going to end. Like we're going to be able to like go outside without masks, and like going to be able to see my team, even if it's like in a long time or whatever. I'll still be able to see all of them in the future. So that's one thing that's kept me going, is just the fact that like, it's going to get better, and that I have something to look forward to.
Mine was probably doing like classes, even if I wasn't at a team on a studio. The studio went back in person way before like everything. Like we went back in person maybe in July. So I've just been doing that the whole quarantine so that I could at least have some motivation to do something in my life.
That's cool. It's good to have those things, and while those chances kind of come and gone with like the status that we've been in navigating through the pandemic, it's good to at least have them when they are available. And on the topic of the future, Cristal, if you don't mind, I'm gonna kind of test you, because you could very well be the future of this podcast. So if you wouldn't mind asking Julianne, kind of not interrogating, but just discussing any questions you might have, because Julianne like is gonna graduate soon. You're about to become a junior. So do you have any question as a dancer, student, a brave for Julianne? Anything you'd like to ask? Go nuts.
Okay, Julianne, how did you deal with like piles of homework? I cannot seem to deal with that.
Yeah, that was a big thing, especially when you're going into like AP and honors courses. I would just say like time management. Even if that means like deleting Instagram or like TikTok or Twitter or whatever on your phone, just to be able to like put your phone down for a second and get some stuff done, then you do what you got to do. There's nothing we can really do about homework, and instead of sit down and just get it done. Obviously everyone deals with procrastination. It's like really hard to get rid of, but I would just say I look forward to feeling that feeling of just knowing that you have everything done and like off your to-do list. So if you're ever just feeling like you can't get something done in that moment, just like sit down and get it done. And I'd say that has helped me get a lot of stuff done.
That's solid advice. Like even in the 4 times or where we're in now and where we're gonna be, I've heard rumors of the Canvas to-do list panda, and combined with my procrastination is just like the load of work from a bunch of classes. So, but the tale goes is when you complete your to-do list, there's a little panda that says like congratulations. I yearn for the day where I see that. I only got a few weeks left, but that's still a goal of mine to get it done. That's a funny thing, but those are good tips. I know that you do have a lot to manage, and you discussed being a leader in terms of your co-captain of varsity, and you are a link crew leader. So Julianne, would you mind going or kind of discussing what it's been like to be a leader, or just run with that?
Yeah,
being a leader.
Yeah, so I started my leadership experience like my sophomore year. I was on varsity and I applied to be an officer, which is like a leadership position, but obviously not as much as captain. But that was like a good starting point. I kind of learned a little bit more about how to be a leader and stuff like that. And then my junior year, I became co-captain. And then my senior year, now I'm a head captain, which is really exciting. One thing that I've learned is that it's really hard to be a leader. It's harder than it looks. You have to be really organized. You have to know what you're doing all the time, which isn't always the easiest thing. And you have to like manage a whole team. But honestly, it's like a really fun experience getting to be a leader on this team and like watching my team grow and like just being friends with everyone, I would say. So it definitely has its perks. And with Link Crew, this is my second year in Link Crew, and I've always loved Link Crew. Like that was like fourth period was one of my favorite things, my favorite periods to go to. It was just so much fun, like talking to all the freshmen and getting to know all of them. So it's cool that I get to be a captain this year. And yeah, so I'd say I had a lot of leadership experience with dance and link crew. And honestly, for anyone that's watching this, I would definitely recommend trying out for a leadership position even if you don't think you'll make it. It definitely helps you grow more independent, more mature, and teaches you more about responsibility. So that's a big thing that I've learned as a captain.
It's awesome. I think overall you touched one of the most important characteristics of leading is honesty, because you didn't like kind of give a sales pitch on how like awesome and luxurious it can be. It can be stressful. It's a lot of responsibility, and kind of accepting that when you go into that. We all start somewhere. I did Link Crew. I love the program. Very cool thing to be a part of, and I was also a leader in band. And I wasn't always, I showed up just like short freshman, kind of have no idea what I was doing. And it's cool to know that like entering high school, you kind of like start off as a blank canvas. And these 4 years for me and probably for you have gone by like really quickly. So kind of that reflection of the time that we've had and the growth that we've made, and growth that we'll continue to have. It's a cool thing to take notice of. And yeah, I'm getting like wicked sentimental. I don't know, maybe I'm just coping or something. But we'll talk to the newbie Cristal. So as we've discussed, you're a sophomore and you still have like a lot of time left. It will go by fast, but it will also go by slow. So Crystal, as more of like an introspective into you, do you have any goals for going back or just the next years?
Not to fail. That's mostly it. I just need to get my grades. And then dance, of course. Yeah. Other than that, that's really all in my life.
Yeah, and that's straight to the point. Those are good goals to have, you know. Some people have like lists of the goals. Some people have like just enough they can count on two fingers, which is great. It's good to, you know, just set things to achieve. And yeah, that's still really cool. Um, so one of our next questions is going to be we kind of talked about the happy-go-lucky, like sentimental stuff, but is there anything, Julianne, that you regret possibly? And also, is there any advice that you give to your past self, like your freshman self, first day of school? Anything you'd like to tell her?
Yeah, so for those two questions, I'd probably say the same thing. Go to more school events. My freshman and sophomore year, I didn't go to homecoming. I didn't really go to King's Ball or anything like that. And I only went to the football games because, I was performing. But other than that, I don't think I would have gone. But my advice and my biggest regret is that I didn't go to a lot of school events and like get more involved in school. Like I was involved in school, but like I wish I could have done more, because, now being a senior and like that ending soon, like, being a kid and like having to grow up so fast, like I kind of wish that I had, been more involved in the things that I liked. And yeah, I would definitely go if you're a freshman, or I know we didn't really have much this year, obviously, but in the upcoming years, if you have an opportunity, go to all the school dances, every single one, all the football games, everything like that, basketball games, whatever, because eventually you're going to be a senior and then you're going to miss it. And I definitely miss going to all the school events and like seeing my friends and stuff. It would have been great memories to have, but yeah, that I would say that is my biggest regret and a piece of advice that I would give to upcoming, you know, freshmen, sophomore, juniors, whatever.
That's solid. It's simple and it's easily attainable, you know. So part of what we made this podcast for was this has been a rough time for everyone in all four of the possible, grades that we have. And it's kind of taking action before you regret something. And I hope what this does most for incoming freshmen or just freshmen who've gotten through this year, or even sophomores, is kind of just seizing those opportunities, it's kind of like a lot of those are just one night, couple hour events that you might have to wear like a fancy shirt or something to enjoy. But it's all an experience. It's all something we grow and learn from and get to enjoy. And yeah, I couldn't agree with that more by like just seizing your opportunities and whatnot. Um, dang, yeah, it's been 4 years. Doesn't it feels like it sometimes it doesn't feel like it at all. But we've been at this for quite a minute and it's been really solid talk. But Crystal, do you have anything else you'd like to add or ask or anything? Floor is yours.
No.
Just say anything, man. Just like let the words come out of your mouth and just let it happen. Me, I spit out alphabet soup. Sometimes it sounds good. Sometimes I start stuttering. It's part of the process, man. Just run free. Julianne, do as you please, man. Anything.
I mean, I could advertise dance. I would say dance is an amazing program. We're currently having auditions in clinics. I don't know when this is going to come out. probably later, probably after. But I would say to anyone who's watching this, I would say if you're thinking about it, even considering it, you could always ask me or anyone else on the team for advice or whatever. But I definitely say to get involved with dance because it is a great program. I had a lot of fun. And yeah.
Okay, on the topic of dance, if you think like you're not good enough, like try out, and if you don't make it, just practice every day. You can self-teach yourself dance. That's what's
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
dance, is you can just teach yourself. You don't have to have a teacher or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also have like dance class periods, which are during the day. So you don't necessarily have to join a team if you weren't interested. But that's a great way to start learning dance and more about it. It's also a great way to like stay active too, because like if you're someone who doesn't like to work out, it's like fun to dance and like burn those calories as you do it. So I would definitely say if you do want to get more involved in school, definitely consider dance as an option, because it is a lot of fun and you make a ton of new friends. Like all the members on the team are some of my best friends, and I've met amazing people and had amazing experiences. Um, and I'd say without dance, my high school experience would be pretty boring. So definitely try to get involved. And if you do want to get involved, consider dance.
On the topic of considering dance, myself being pretty awful at dancing, never really wanted to try it, but I think Julianne can help me in telling the fabled story of Victoria's Secrets, if you wouldn't mind. That's going to sound really weird, but I promise you're in for a wild ride to close out this episode of how Julian and I kind of like got close.
Yeah, absolutely. So we used to have an event called Best Dance Crew. Unfortunately, we couldn't have it this year. I would have loved to do it again, but so last year, we had an event. It was like in September of last year, I believe, and basically it was just like, as the name says, Best Dance Crew competition. So we would have like crews of like link crew or volleyball or I think we also had like baseball or water polo and track cross country too, like different sports groups, and they like all competed against each other, like doing like silly little dances, and it was the funniest thing to watch ever. So me and my good friend Emily Hallback, we decided to choose Link Crew as like our group, and of course we asked Finn, an amazing dancer that he is. We just knew we had to add him. So he was in that group as well. I believe four other
There were
dancers.
five. There were
Yeah.
five of us.
Um, and yeah, it was a great experience. We did win fan favorites.
We won fan favorite. I have the medal hanging somewhere on my wall.
Absolutely. And the impressive thing was like everyone, all the dancers, all the guys learned the dance like in such short notice, but did it so beautifully. And of course, we won fan favorite. We just had to. So that was a great experience. And then watching them backstage just perform our dance was like amazing. It was really funny to watch. But yeah, so in the future years, if dance is ever doing Best Dance Crew again, you'll probably see me in the audience, even if I'm graduated. But definitely go to that because it was really funny and it was one of my favorite school events.
Yeah, I mean, we got to come back for that reunion.
Absolutely.
One day, whenever it is. And I think that serves as like the biggest testament to all the topics that we covered, kind of getting out there, just trying things. I learned those moves in like a week really fast, and they weren't very good, but they were good enough. We were fan favorite. The medal speaks more than the movement, but yeah, I feel like that's a good way to kind of end off. So Julianne, thank you so much for coming on. It's great to spotlight people just to provide a better introspective into our students. And Crystal, it's great to have you as a new host. Really good stuff. This is I love doing this, and I'm proud of our school. I'm proud of our program. It's good stuff. Any closing remarks to anybody?
I would just say thank you for having me on. I had a great time. Thank you, Finn. Thank you, Crystal. This was a lot of fun. So thank you. And I hope whoever's watching this maybe learn a little bit more about the dance program and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
And Crystal, anything?
No, I was thinking there's nothing.
Little words, but adds a lot. So till next time, Blue Crew broadcast. Has been your host, Finn, and wish you guys a great night. Whenever you do listen to this, just remember, seize any of those opportunities that you can. Stay brave, Al Salama. Peace out.